Good afternoon. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I am on this afternoon to do day 8 of my fabulous February fun folds. And I always like to try to get on a little bit early, but today I'm almost right on time to see if I'm straight. And I do look pretty straight if I would have these cards laying straight. So I'm excited about today's fun fold. It's kind of like a card on a card. So this opens up and your message would be in here. Same thing with this one. You open this up and your message will be inside. So if you're here and joining me, if you could add a comment, that would be great. I like to know when people are watching. Today, I just have you ever had just one of those days? I woke up this morning with a migraine, so I missed Bible study and I missed ladies' lunch, and then I decided I could do my, it finally went away. So I thought, well, I could do my video at 1 instead of later this afternoon because I'm home, and then I got busy and I had to switch it to 1:30. Because what I was really trying to do is figure out what to do with the leftover triangle from there and the leftover triangle from the DSP, and it took me, I don't know, I started like at 11:15, and before I knew it, it was 12:55, but I figured out, I tried a whole bunch of different things, but then I figured out a way, which I will show you after we make these cards. So let's get started. I decided today to use the terrific toadstools and the matching paper, which is Toadstool's Garden, which is free during celebration. And that ends Friday, so you only have 2.5 more days if you wanted to get some to put in an order. So let's see what kind of pieces we need here. We need the card back and the card front. We need a triangle piece. We have a piece for the envelope. We have a piece for the second card that's inside. And this piece, along with this piece glued to the bottom, will go on the inside here. So I think we have all our pieces. So let's first decide what we should do. This piece is cut as a regular card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then what you do is lay your cardstock on your cutter and line up this point and the this point, and then you cut off the triangle, and that gives you a triangle to work with. And so you do the same thing with the DSP, but the only thing with the DSP is that if you have a design that goes up and down or left to right, you want to be sure when you cut the paper that you lay it like this, and then you cut. Otherwise, if it's on the back, it is going to be upside down. Because I did that with the mushrooms by mistake when I was cutting it. So I had to cut another piece because I couldn't have upside down mushrooms. So let's just get started here with some gluing. I'm going to make I forgot to make my video big so I could see. Hi, Judy. I was going to say, I know Judy will be here. How are you doing? Sorry I was late today. So I'm first just going to add this to the bottom of the inside. And as always, I don't glue my insides down until after I stamp or write my message, just in case I make a mistake, because then I could always turn it over. I guess maybe I shouldn't put the border on here either, but if I have to turn it over, it just won't have a border, and that'll be fine. Otherwise, I would lose that little piece. And so we're going to take this piece, which goes right in here. Even though I keep my glue turned upside down, when it starts getting to the end of the bottle, it likes to get stuck, and then it comes out in big blobs, which you got to kind of smooth them out or you'll get wrinkles in your paper when you put it down. So if I tap it, it kind of works a little bit better when it's getting low. Now this pattern, I guess you could say it doesn't really have an up or down. So you don't have to worry about when you're cutting this about direction. It just all really depends what DSP you pick. Because when I did this one, it didn't matter because it has no direction. So even if it's upside down, you don't know it. But the fishing one's what really showed me that I had to be careful, because I ended up at first with fish swimming upside down, which would have been that piece up there, and then I had to switch. Okay, so now we have that in, so let's go ahead and take our bone folder. Okay, I'm glad, Judy. I'm going to take my bone folder here and get my fold creased. Okay, now we're going to take this piece of mushroom here, and it's the same idea when you go to cut it. Now this one, I cut my piece at, of my DSP for this at 5 by 3 3/4, which gave me a little bit of border. If you notice on this one, I cut it exactly the same size. I cut it at 5 1/4 by 4, and it just didn't give me very much of a border. I kind of like a little bit more border. So I cut this one 1/4 of an inch smaller. And I also did that with the fish too. I gave it a bigger border. So that's just up to you, really. You could cut it at 5 1/4 by 4, and you'll have a small border, but if you cut it at 5 3 3/4, you get just another little bit of border. So I'm going to put this on there. This is such a dull side compared to the other side, isn't it? And my mushrooms are going the correct way. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to crease it. These are pretty easy to make. And I didn't run this one through an embossing folder. On these two I did. I ran it through. This is the dried paint. And this one, I can't remember what it's called, but it's that kind of pottery that has the bumps all on the outside of it. It just is skipping my mind now what you call that, but that's the embossing folder I used for that one. This one I decided not to use an embossing folder. Instead, I stamped and cut out a mushroom to put on the front here. So I needed my DSP to be kind of smooth because I also want to stamp a greeting at the bottom. But before I do that, I'm going to show you, I don't have any Melon Mambo ribbon. So what I did is I took a piece of white ribbon and I used my blending brush with the ink and I changed the color because I just wanted to put a little piece of ribbon on here. So I could have did it on both sides, but I knew I didn't really have to because both sides aren't not. I don't know why I turned that over. It's white, so it doesn't matter which side you use. I'm going to take a little piece of... Hi, Anna. I'm glad that you could join us today. I love this new mushroom set. The mushroom set is in the spring catalog, and it comes with a punch that will punch out your mushroom and the stem. But I opted not to get the punch this time because to me it was pretty fast just to fussy cut it out. So I'm going to take the top off of my tearing tape. That's static all in it. Okay, and then I'm going to fix my ribbon to go around here, kind of in the middle. But I want it straight, so that doesn't look straight. That looks better. Okay, so now we have that on the back. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop the mushroom up with dimensionals. But first we're going to stamp down at the bottom our words in Melon Mambo. These say, popping up to say hi, which goes perfect with the toads. I keep calling them mushrooms and they're toadstools. So we want to have that down there so we can know where to pop this up at. Okay, so let me find some dimensionals. I have some right here. This little piece, it came from a paper pumpkin or one of the kits where you get just enough dimensionals, where you get more than enough to do the kit. So I'm just going to put a spot of glue here on the mushroom to hold the stem there. I'm going to try not to get my fingers too sticky. Okay. I know I shouldn't have taken the paper off the dimensional till I finish this part. So we will just put a new dimensional on there because they really love to stick to the glass. And we will not take the paper off yet. Then I'm going to take this toadstool and I'm going to pop it up right here over the ribbon. And then I will adhere this to the mini card. It's going to take me a while, a lot of rubbing alcohol to get that off now. I should have thought about that. Here we go. We're going to place this on here. And now we're ready to put this on our card. So let me turn it over and add some adhesive on the back. These are kind of cute little fun folds that are quick. Yesterday's fun fold, I liked it, but it did take a little bit more time and a few more pieces. So we want to center this up and down, left to right. And now this, we'll put this on the inside. We'll close this and we'll lay this on top. And there, our card is already finished. I should probably put some more dimensionals underneath this mushroom because it's pretty long and it's going to want to bend on the edges. So now we just need to decorate it because we already have our ribbon on. So I know I have some Granny Apple Green sequins in here somewhere. They're like glitter ones that were from Christmas one year. Because when you get embellishments, I don't know, I have a hard time using them up even though it's in the catalog for like a year. Sometimes I forget about them, but these Granny Apple Green ones will go perfect on here. Oops. I guess if I wanted to, I could have used them as little dots on the mushroom. I didn't think about that. But they're a little bit big, so they might not have covered very well. And then we always have Wink of Stella. So let me find my Stella pen. I don't know what we used to do before we had Stella. We used to have, thank you, Anna. We used to have dazzling diamond embossing powder that we could put on everything to make it shiny. So I'm going to shake this up. I'm going to squeeze it. And then I'm just going to paint this. You kind of have to paint lightly because, see, it is kind of making the ink run. Kind of changing the white to pink a little. I mean, but that's okay on this. You just wouldn't want to do that on something that wouldn't look right if it's smeared. Now that it's smeared in one place, I got to get it to smear. There we go. So, there we go. 3 cards. This is for the envelope. Now, I had all these triangles left over, so let me show you what I did. I tried a whole bunch of different things, and then I finally figured out something that would work. So this is the fishing piece. So if I were to turn this piece over and put it over here, the fish would be swimming upside down. So what I did, I flipped it over to this coordinating side, and I glued it to the triangle. And then I took the triangle, and first I laid down some more DSP in the middle. And then I glued this just down this edge and down this edge so that it could be a gift card holder. Believe me, I was trying a whole bunch of different things, trying to put them together. And then all of a sudden it just hit me. I could make a gift card holder with it. So I finished that one. And I didn't really have time to finish the other ones. But I will show you what I was thinking. This is the Calypso Coral one. So I had cut the Calypso Coral triangle when I was trying to do a different method with them. I had cut the piece smaller, so I had to cut this. I had to, because this left too big of a border, so I had to put some early espresso in there. Now this will go on here. Okay, maybe I have to flip the whole thing over. Let's see. I think I have to flip it over. It's like a puzzle. So, in order for this to fit... No, it fit before. Here it goes. It has to be this side. Sorry. Okay, so that's like the opposite side of this, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't have a right or wrong way either. So you don't have to worry about the up and down. So now I could take this And I could glue it on a card base, just like I did this wild wheat one. Pick a different color for the middle. I was really thinking just to go with the same pattern, only this way, on the card, and then have a Calypso Coral and Early Espresso border behind this, and then it's just a card front, and you'd put your white on the back. But now I came to the mushrooms that I cut wrong, and I did not cut them smaller, so that was good. So this is just my original triangle from making the card, and my triangle from cutting out these mushrooms. But you see, now I can't. I could flip it this way, but it's just a very boring pattern. So I decided I could still use a gift card holder, only put it up like this. Sorry about the colors, they really clash. And then put the gift card coming out the top, which it's snug enough, it's not going to fall out. And if it does, it would just be in the envelope, but I'm pretty sure that it would stay there. And it would just be the opposite way that the gift card holder would open. So I hope that helps you, because I just felt bad not knowing what to do with all these leftover triangles. I still have mushroom ones. These are the ones that were going to be upside down if I would have used them. See, if I tried to turn these to go this way, they're going to be sideways. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these. They're not going to really work. And this one I cut smaller, trying to do something with it. I could put them together like this and make a card front. So that's what I might do with these. Just the different ideas to help use up your scraps. I hope that you enjoy this one. On this one, I just this is cut from the paper. You could also use the punch out ones that come with the paper. But I just took the die for the frame and I laid it on the paper, and I took a pencil and I traced around the inside of the die, and then I used my snips to cut it out, and then just glued it there in the middle so that it looks like it fits perfectly. But you could leave the Calypso Coral in there and then put a bunny from the punch outs, or put you could stamp a bunny and put it in there. There's a lot of different things you can do. And I know that the fishing, I think that the stamp set and the dies are still there, but the paper is gone. But I just have some to use up, and I need some masculine birthday cards this month. So I thought I'm just going to do some things with the fishing set. Well, I hope you have a great afternoon, and thanks for joining me, and I hope you're having fun making these cards. Bye.